So this is a 1990 Toyota Celica GT. This car is in nearly pristine shape. Or at least the body is. Even the tires are have excellent tread left on them. It's like 75% life remaining on them. Only real cosmetic issues that I can see on it are this mirror is cracked and there's like a chip in the paint down here, which are very minor cosmetic issues in the larger scheme of the things. The only big problem with this, and yes, it's a big problem, start it up and I'll show you. You can hear it. That's a rod knock. So this motor is pretty much shot. Turn it off right away before the thing explodes. Just kidding, that's not going to happen. But lucky for us, what we have here is a 2.2 liter Toyota motor. Engine. Lucky for us, what we've got right here is the same 2.2 liter motor, which we've had sitting around the shop for the last 3 years. We actually acquired this motor for free as part of a deal on another car we had gotten at the time. So our good buddy Jack, hey Jack, where are you? I need you for this part.
Oh, why?
You're on call. Yeah, smoke him up, Johnny.
Smoke them up, Johnny.
Jack is going through the motor, and what have you found?
Engine. The engine.
F off, it's a motor. I'm calling it a goddamn motor. I don't really care what you bitches think.
We suspect that the engine's got over 100,000 on it, so we want to refresh the timing belt on it. Make sure that's set correctly along with the water pump while we're in there, being as they are ashamed of the water pump. They have to hide it with this cover. Plan is to get at the shit that's difficult to do while the engine's in the car. Clean it up and then put different gaskets on at least the valve cover, and we'll probably do the crank seal and that kind of shit while we're in front like that. Should be good to go.
Wish it was a 5-speed manual. That would beat the shit. But that's okay. Some people like automatics. Looks like they left some of their stuff in here. We just got it, so I haven't cleaned out any of their crap. But yeah, excellent shaped car. Will be in excellent shape as soon as it's got an excellent motor put in there. And it will be excellent. So that's our latest project. Hopefully it won't take too long. Alright, so here's the update on the Celica. This is the one with the motor that had that obnoxious rod knock. And clearly it doesn't have a motor anymore because it's sitting right over here. Pulled that thing out over the course of a weekend. Wasn't too bad of a job. The replacement motor sits here and awaits its new home. So that's going to be the next step, is to get that bitch installed. Kind of went over the car and everything looks clean and it's in great shape like I showed before. So really excited to get it running again. So, what in the man?
Well, replace the fuel filter, which was over here, underneath the canister. Brand new piece right here. Did the test, no leak. Start the car, 2,000 RPM. I thought I'm gonna have to adjust the cable here that was onto the throttle body, which is completely melted, by the way. And all of a sudden I hear a poof underneath that side. And I'm like, well, what the f***? Get out and see that there's smoke billowing out from the hood. So I go and get the small fire extinguisher, the little one, not that big one, the smaller one, and I spray underneath here, thinking that the fire was being fed by the fuel filter, but it wasn't at all. It was all over here. So when that fire extinguisher didn't do shit, I pushed this bitch out then.
So this was in the shop when
It was in the shop when it started the
Oh.
fire, yep.
You're lucky that you're able to get it out.
So then once I got it out, then I had to go get the big fire extinguisher, and that was in the other garage there, hiding. Come back out, try blasting it some more, and I sure as ain't opening that hood to feed it that much more. But of course there was a nice breeze like there was today, so it was feeding it very nicely. And this that's in here seems like it's made out of kindling. It was going up just like that. So I run back after that fire extinguisher didn't do shit, and I got the hose and turned the water onto the house. Bring the hose out here, there is no water coming out of that hose. And I was like, what the fuck? So I go back into the house after the first responder showed up. He had a big fire extinguisher like that and tried putting it out too. And I figured out that the power was turned off to the pump. So I had to switch that back on, and by that time, another first responder came out and he grabbed the hose, and it was like pissing on a Christmas tree fire. It was not doing nothing.
Nothing.
I heard the siren from the tanker truck come, and they pull in, and it took them a while to hook up the hose. But once
Aren't they supposed to be professionals at that?
Yeah, it was almost like King of the Hill.
Hey,
Damn it, Dale, you stripped the bolt.
it wasn't me.
But to their credit, they did an awesome job. I was very impressed with their time that they got here, and they were very straightforward with how they were doing it. But once that the hose got hooked up, they had to hook up a second one. That's what was taking the time, because the second guy was blasting it in the back here to make sure that the tank didn't catch.
Makes sense.
And the front guy was blasting this thing. And it took them over 20 minutes to put it out with these both hoses going full blast the entire time. And they used the jaws of life to open the hood. And
You
once
can
that
see
opened, then it was
the
that.
pincher marks from up top there.
Here and up there.
Yeah.
So what's amazing to me most about this ghost that started this fire is that it was over on this side, and on the intake, which is melted, by the way, completely melted, which is amazing because this is made out of aluminum.
Oh man, that's a mangled mess.
There was a fuel filter, a fuel pressure regulator right here, and I think this is what failed.
And there would have been no way to guess that was going to happen beforehand.
Right, being as the car was lot driven, as I call it, and then I made it out onto the road a little ways, and it just didn't have the power. So then once I hooked up the new fuel filter and did the tests twice to make certain that that thing wasn't leaking, it wasn't wet,
The new one.
nothing.
The new one that was over here.
Yep. So I made certain that wasn't leaking, and there was no wet, nothing, no smell, no gas smell, nothing. So I started it, and within 3 to 4 seconds of running with the new fuel filter, so it has a new feed.
So you think the old fuel filter that we replaced was restricting flow, and that's why the leak wasn't showing up over on this side initially. And then after you put that new fuel filter in there, there's enough flow to put pressure to the regulator, and that started spraying all over the engine.
Yeah, somehow lit over here, which I'm thinking is just simply the exhaust was enough to do it. So, the exhaust pipe.
Yeah, so
Runs
the exhaust runs underneath the motor, so it would have been down there that it was leaking on somewhere.
Yep.
Okay. It still seems insane to me that it would have caused such an extreme fire that the whole entire car went up.
It consumed everything. There is no glass left, which is totally amazing to me. I'm trying to figure out if there's puddles of glass here.
Right here. This is a puddle.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's brittle. Look
Wow. There is no steering wheel left whatsoever. Every single piece that could be consumed by the fire seemed to have been consumed.
at that. It was hot as hell. Oh wait. Oh, this wasn't.
That was the metal.
I was gonna say that one survived, but no, it's metal. And just the springs to the seats are left. Like you can see that glass piece right there still has the defroster lines running through it.
Right.
It just shrunk.
So, my cat-like reflexes saved my life
And the shop,
and the shop.
but not the car.
No.
Yeah, this corner right here is probably the most intact corner in the entire vehicle. There was some discussion here a moment ago about salvaging this taillight, but I was looking at it. It's even melted on the inside here. Like the mounted pieces, I don't think are even connected anymore. It's like melted in. So, pretty much worth only its weight in scrap at this point.
Right, the transmission where the starter plugs in melted the housing for that. So the case is cracked here.
Oh.
And the motor is toast. The internals may be okay, meaning like the crank and bearing, but we already replaced all that anyway, so.
The other thing I'm going to show here is this fire very clearly got extremely hot because this car, which I guess it wasn't too far away, the headlight on the passenger side started to melt, which is insane to me. But even the bumper cover, that fog light, and the ground effect here, and you can't really see it from here, but one of the panels, the upper panels, a couple of them are kinked to the point where the door doesn't want to slide open and shut smoothly anymore. Yeah, it's a two-person job to open the door now. Pretty extreme consequences for such a small and tiny problem. Before this happened, this was a nice-ass car. The body was in pristine shape, high miles, but after a motor swap, it would have been a really nice car. Yeah.
Engine swap.
Shush. I like my way better.
Yeah,
I will continue to call it a motor swap.
That's that. So we'll move it to likely over there or over there, and it'll be scrapped soon.
Just get it off the lawn.
Yep.
Don't ever want to see it again.
No more. Goodbye. Rest in peace, you piece of fucking shit. You had to do it, huh? Had to do it, didn't ya? You. So good riddance then. on the other side so you'll drag it over this way. Keep your momentum. Don't get stuck, dude.
That's good.
Beautiful. You did awesome on that.